Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to show you how to take your evidence pool and turn it into a functioning, working, drafting outline for your essay. Before we begin, I want to remind you that as you watch this video, you are supposed to write down the steps that you need so that you can replicate this process for yourself. Additionally, you may want to stop this video so that you can get caught up with your notes. If you have no questions, let us begin. Now, because we just had a weekend, the first thing I want to do is to reread my thesis and get myself back in the game. In The Highway, Bradbury favors the simple, humble lifestyle symbolized by Hernando and shows how an industrialized world and its technology can be catastrophic. Now, you should have already done this, but if you haven't, I'm going to highlight the foci for my thesis so that I know exactly what it is I need to substantiate or argue. And that Bradbury favors a simple, humble lifestyle, and that technology can be catastrophic. Next, I want to look at my evidence pool. Okay? As I'm looking at the evidence, I want to make sure that it in fact lines up with one of these two ideas. So the cooling afternoon rain had come over the valley. Okay, so I chose many quotations about the rain because the rain represents something that's simple, and it triumphs over technology. And we see that throughout. So rain is good. Concrete highway, again man-made, so that's metaphoric. The simple lifestyle. Okay, the hands, rich gold things, materialistic, and Hernando doesn't want that, so that's good. Soles from rubber, the Ford, the bubbling, that's all technology. Again with the rain, simple with the hub cap and how they used it as a bowl. Hernando didn't want the peso, it was just his pleasure, that means he's humble. Again, the rain, it's nothing he replied. I remember that as something else he said after he says it's my pleasure. That's a little bit redundant, so I'm going to cross that out. I don't need it. Okay? And what do they mean, the world? Of course, the most important quotation from the story, so I want to keep that certainly. Now that I've done that, I want to have the evidence talk to me. The evidence is going to tell me what assertions it wants to argue. And by finding patterns in the evidence, I'll be able to understand my assertion topics. So I'm going to highlight all like evidence in the same color. So anything having to do with the rain, because that's all setting, I'm going to highlight it in the same color. So rain here, and rain here. Okay? Then technology, of course, is also going to be its same color. And what I'm left with is this simple and humble. So that's going to be its same color. And as I'm doing this, I'm hearing myself saying certain topics over and over, and I think those are going to be my assertion topics. So I have one left. Concrete highway, another river did not flow. That's because it's man-made, and therefore it has to do with the setting, so we're going to make that the same setting color. Now, next step is to write down your assertion topics. And those are the patterns, those ideas that seem to link pieces of evidence together. So the first is setting, and specifically the rain. Second, we talk about the simple / humble life. Oops. And that has to do with Hernando, our protagonist. Okay. Then we have technology. Oops, that's all right. Spelling doesn't count right now. And last but not least, nope, that's it. That's all of them. But wait, I'm kind of looking at this and there's a lot of blue. And you might be looking at this and you might have a lot of the same as well. And so something you might want to do is take a look at the category where there's a lot of evidence. This one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different pieces, and see if you can focus that a little bit more. So I'm looking here. This is about materialism and possession of materialistic things. This one is about being resourceful, and this is his humility and his humility. So I feel like I can break these two apart into the simple and his humility. So I'm going to say that these two represent his humility, and that means then that I want to add an assertion topic. Nope, I don't want to add. I want to split this assertion topic. Simple meaning non-materialistic. Okay. Humble, talking about Hernando, and technology. Okay. Last thing I want to do before moving on is check my assertion topics against my thesis and make sure that all of these topics support what it is that I'm trying to argue. Okay? So simple and humble, boom, technology, boom, and then of course I'm using this metaphor to talk about this entire idea. So all of these topics are currently highly relevant to my thesis. I'm good. The next step that you want to do is turn the assertion topics into assertions, focused arguments. Okay? And to do that, I want you to take a look at what I've done over here. Now, I'm starting off with the simple lifestyle because I want to introduce the main idea of the text. So think about your progression of your assertions. Here I've gone the simple life, which influences Hernando to be humble, and Hernando's humility allows him to combat the problems with technology. And all the while, against all of this, is the rain, and I feel like that's the part that truly emphasizes Bradbury's message, and so I want to end on that. So let's look at the assertions. A simple lifestyle, dash, one that is connected to purpose and not things, dash, is rewarded by Bradbury. Now, if I stopped here and said something like, Bradbury shows the simple lifestyle, that's not an assertion, that's a topic sentence. But the fact that I'm saying that Bradbury rewards that lifestyle, that's an assertion, because someone could argue the other way and say, nope, they don't, and therefore it's defensible. Same thing here, Hernando, who lives a simple lifestyle against the impending destruction of the world, is able to remain humble, a trait that Bradbury argues is valiant, and so on and so on. And you're going to notice something here, and that is this red. I've included the red here, who lives a simple lifestyle, while Bradbury favors humility, because they're transition phrases that are linking all of my assertion topics together. Okay? So we start off here with the simple lifestyle. Hernando, who has a simple lifestyle, in addition does this. He's humble. While Bradbury favors humility, and then technology. So you can use transition words or phrases to link your ideas together. Now hold on, we're almost done. The last thing that you want to do is to plug in the evidence underneath the correct assertion topics. Now, just like the progression of your assertions, the progression of your evidence matters. For our purposes, we're going to keep it in chronological. So page 1, page 1, page 2. Page 3, page 4. Within each assertion, you want the chronology, okay? And that is to make sure that our reader gets a clear understanding of the text. Instead of saying, this happened, but actually before this happened, now we can go back to this. That's confusing, so we want to keep a linear understanding, okay? So by the end of this video, you should be able and should have in front of you an outline that has a thesis, assertions that are clarified in scope that support your thesis, and then evidence in chronological order that clearly supports your assertion. I'll be around to help out, but I expect you to work focused and diligently. Best of luck to you. Begin.